Joshua Jenson, the CPA, joins us today with important deductions that you shouldn't overlook. And all of us, have to pay our taxes, but you don't want to pay any more than you have to.
Absolutely. Just pay your fair share.
That's exactly right. So let's talk about job search, because a lot of Oklahomans were searching for jobs last year.
Yeah.
What can you deduct?
Well, if you were looking for a job, you can deduct the resume cost, any kind of travel that you had, the mileage, if you paid an employment agency fee for someone to help you along with that. Remember, too, if you got the job and you moved, you can deduct moving expenses. You have to move over 50 miles. But there's a number of things to be looking at when you are looking for a new job.
And, of course, if they paid, though, for your moving expenses, you can't deduct that.
That's right. And it will be something that you'll want to account for on Form 3903.
Oh, my gosh.
So that's why you need to get a CPA. That's right.
Charitable contributions. That's changed a lot.
It is. I tell you what, if you got receipts for these for over $250, one of the things you want to look at the bottom is to make sure it says that no goods or services were provided. Without that sentence, it's not deductible.
Really?
Other thing to remind you, everybody, of is that you may have given to Salvation Army or Goodwill, not to promote one over the other, but be sure you're deducting those. You get fair market value. It's not necessarily thrift market value. Take into account if you're able to give away that wonderful suit there, you're going to be able to get a nice deduction for that. So don't forget what I call deductions in your closet when it comes tax time.
I have to ask you about that, because I go to the internet and get the Goodwill list, but you're not saying we have to go by that, or we don't?
No. That list would be better than a thrift store list. A lot of times people go to a garage sale and they're putting down 10 cents for a pair of jeans.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
You can go a little higher than that. Goodwill's a good guide.
Then also divorce-related costs. Sad situation, but it happens.
Yeah, and most of the time those are not going to be deductible costs. However, any kind of legal fee or CPA fees that you're going to incur that protect your financial interests, so that would include any kind of tax advice that you're going to be given by a CPA related to your divorce, or if it's a specific issue related to your alimony, then you're able to deduct those portions of the legal fees. Now remember, child support is not deductible, so anything related to custody issues, those legal fees are not going to be deductible. Definitely get a CPA. Figure out what you can do.
What about educational costs?
Yes, absolutely. Those that are going back to school, a lot of people don't know this. There's a lifetime learning credit, meaning for your lifetime. You can take the first $10,000, which that's a lot, and take 20% of that as a tax credit. Here's the beauty of a tax credit. Tax credit is a dollar for dollar reduction of your tax. So if you spent $10,000, you get a $2,000 tax credit. That's a dollar for dollar reduction of your taxes. So you definitely want to be mindful of what that includes: tuition, fees, books.
And is that just, for instance, high school, college?
Yeah, lifetime learning credit, so it's basically anything after high school.
Anything after high school, okay.
Yes.
Now, tax breaks for people who are self-employed.
Yeah, if you're self-employed and basically you're kind of creating your own destiny there's a lot of expenses that you want to make sure that you're taking. But one of the things we want to focus in on today is retirement. So when you work for somebody, you probably have potentially a retirement plan, a 401k. But when you're self-employed, if you don't have wages to yourself, you could do what's called an SEP plan. Here's what's really great about this. You actually have until the due date of your tax return to fund it. And with an SEP plan, if you extend your tax return, you would literally have until October 15th of this year to fund it and get a deduction for last year. But make sure you're deducting things like telephone, cell phone, rent. A lot of entertainment can fall into that. So if you're self-employed, be sure you're taking all the deductions that you can take. Pay the least amount of tax. You
gave us so much information in so short a time. It's fabulous. I appreciate you. And of course, if you need more information on the tips that he was talking about, you can go to our website, KFOR.com. And we appreciate you joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.